And please welcome Naveen Nigam, Head of Developer Ecosystems North America for the North America Developer Keynote.
Good day, good day, good day, good morning. It's Thursday. It was a long week. Thank you. Thank you all. I have slides again. I mentioned this earlier. I usually don't have a lot of slides, but I promise to fly through all the slides so we can get to the stuff you really want, which is the AMA. All right, as introduced, my name is Naveen Nigam. I lead up developer ecosystem efforts across both Americas. I'm super excited to be here. When this slide has thank you, this thank you is for all of you. It's for all of you for taking the time, and I said this before, I'm going to say it again, it doesn't matter, outside of your personal life, outside of your work life, outside of your student life, outside all your commitments, you still dedicate time to help the community. You provide what the community needs. That's super important. So genuinely, with all my heart, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, while we're on the theme of thank yous, none of this would have been possible without a very strong team, usually in the background, and I really want to call them out, our community managers. We have Jeanette, Karina, Madusha, and Marty as event manager. Phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. When you want to thank someone, thank them. There you go. And when you want to yell at someone, all right. Speaking of yelling at someone, I'm really excited about this session and the AMA, and I'm fully expecting some really interesting conversations on that. We spoke a little already at the welcome dinner. Not everyone was there. I'm going to quickly reiterate some of those things and kind of get into some of the juicy details of other aspects of what we're working on. The difficult conversation right off the bat, women tech makers. We realize right now the women tech makers that are only women tech makers right now are not part of NA Connect at this moment. At the reception, when we had our reception, a welcome dinner, there was a women tech maker reception at the same time. There was a lot of discussion on that. Why? What's going on? What are we trying to do here? What is the intention? We also spoke about Cuba no longer being on the team. And I do want to call this out. There is not a correlation. Right? To be very clear, there isn't a correlation with what we've done with women tech makers and Cuba no longer being on the team, so it is separate. Both of them suck, really, and I'm going to be really blunt with all of you. Yes, it does really suck that we are making some of these changes. But with women tech makers, to be very clear, the idea behind shifting women tech makers the way we did is for women tech makers to have dedicated resources, central management, and really new experiences that focus on women in tech. And this was an effort to make sure that we're doing right with that community. Now, it's really hard. I'm not going to be oblivious to the fact. It's really hard to take communities, the developer communities, women tech makers, that were joined at the hip, and then say, hey, we're going to go our separate ways, and we're going to continue collaborating. But it was a decision that was made, and we have to kind of go with that. Here's what the promise to you all is. We are going to continue collaborating very closely with the Women Tech Maker team, with everything we do. As GDG organizers, as GDSCs, look for Women Tech Makers. We're going to still provide all the information. Continue working with them. We're going to continue supporting them, but it's just a separate team that's doing it. And so we're going to figure out ways, like next year when we have our welcome dinner, like why have two separate dinners? Like just bring us all together. On that note, there were other concerns in regards to, and by the way, the whole star and community badging on your IO, like I understand all the noise that came with that. I get it. I had no stickers, just in case anyone was curious. I had nothing, so I just showed up and in the nosebleed section and all. You all had great seats, but I do realize there were questions like, wait a minute, if you were part of a certain group, you got certain stickers. If you were part of a different group, you didn't get stickers. What's going on? You have to go back to the registration desk. apologies. I'm going to apologize for that. It was a big mess. So I'm apologizing, but it wasn't on me. All right? But I will. Just before you all start throwing things at me, yeah, I will apologize on behalf of the greater Google that way. But these are all things we're working on. These are all things we're working on, and we're going to continue working on. But what did we also talk about? We also talked about our new team and who we have on our team. What we did was, I'm hoping all of you had a chance to connect with AJ and Rachel. If you didn't, do so today. As a reminder, AJ is the head of GDE program in North America. Rachel is the head of GDG and GDSC across North America. Big round of applause for them, and I'll tell you why. These two are coming in like fresh. They have a lot of background. I'm actually going to call them on stage right now to just give a quick blurb on who they are, their background, and what they're looking to do with the program. But why I'm really excited is they were like, hey, this is your thing. And we have this event, NA Connect and I/O, that you're going to meet all of you at the same time. So let's hear from them on what that experience has been like and who they are.
Hey folks, I'm 4 days into this job. But honestly, my name's Ajit Rawani. I go by AJ. I am honored to be your brand new GDE lead for North America. So I have a lot to say, but I have a problem. Actually, I've been talking with folks over the last 4 days, but I haven't talked with everybody, and I just don't know who my peeps are. So do me a favor, if you are a GDE in North America, make some noise right now. Okay, all right, thank you, that helps. If you're a champion innovator who wants to be a GDE, make some noise right now. Okay, I got you. That's part of there's not many, you're right. We're gonna make more of those. Okay, that's part of my job. So listen, I've been at Google for 13 years. I've been behind the scenes on the ecosystem team for about 5 years. And I've been running our platform operations for a long time as part of that. And I've been able to see behind the scenes everything y'all are doing. So I know, right? I know who's posting their activity in Advoku. I know who's showing up to events in Bevy. I know all the problems with all of those platforms and how we've been fixing them. And now I get to be in a more public-facing type of a role, which I've done for many years before that. In Google, I helped build cloud. And I was in the field. I was a field engineer in cloud. I was one of the first field engineers for the Google Chromebook. And I was one of the early people on the apps team. And then I helped build the cloud team. And then I got to build the machine learning advanced solutions lab in cloud. And really, so those early, that staircase that Janine showed, I was part of those early days in machine learning. I'm so excited to be with y'all now to take the future of where we're going even further. So listen, please come see me, talk to me. I'll be here all day. I don't have any plans except to talk to you. So I can't wait. And let's go get this together.
Make that a really hard act to follow, AJ. Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel, and also 4 days into this, and I've got the opportunity to start to connect with most of you. And honestly, in the next several weeks, month, it's really about doing a listening tour, honestly. What's been working for you all? What are some friction points? Hopefully I have some solves for that. But really, we're doing this collectively. I am essentially just a vessel to really make the room brighter because all your candles are lit, honestly. So I really used me as a form of service because our community, our team is only possible because of what you all are doing on the ground, extending, bringing technology for real transformation, really radical thinking. In terms of what I used to do, which is also very much plugged into what you, enabling you all. I worked as a GDSC global lead. So that's working with our students and enabling infrastructure so the Advoku and the Bevies and Solution Challenge. So I'm very familiar with what you all are activating on the ground through DevFest and I/O Extended, and I'll just get to do that on a more localized level with North America and getting a sense of all the regions and where things are unique to your developer ecosystem. So like AJ, I ain't got nothing else to do today but talk to y'all. So please make yourselves available to me, and we'll be in many, many conversations in the future.
Thank
That's
you.
You want us to stay up here? Okay. Bye.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love it. All right, I'm going to quickly keep going. All right, so one of the themes this year was we get a lot of feedback. Can we come back to say, what did we do with that feedback? And turn it back around. So there are a lot of things that use, a lot of elements, even with regards to the food, in regards to the seating, in regards to where you want to go, a lot of those things. But some of the things that I want to call out, how we communicate to each other. We've had a lot of issues with that in the past. I get it, I know. We had multiple channels. And so all of a sudden it was like, okay, well, where do I get the latest and greatest? Which one is accurate? Even response tracking of, okay, well, now we responded on Slack, but everyone who's on Google Chat doesn't know what happened. And are we sending an email? Is it showing up in junk mail? Is it spam? All these things. And then one of the biggest things that everyone was asking about was like, hey, I want to collaborate with the community. I want a forum. I want a place where I can just reach out and say, hey, who is the GDE in this region? Here's this event I'm doing. All GDs, put your hand up if you can speak at my session event happening on this day. We heard you. I'm not going to say we have the best solution for all of this, but we're working towards that, and we're going to continue iterating on this. So, like I said, we're going to keep iterating on this. The goal is to support everyone, to empower everyone, make sure people are recognized. The reality is we made decisions this time based on feedback. So we sent out the surveys. And we asked, what are the channels everyone is interested in participating in? What works best for you? Now, where did we land? So our plan moving forward, I'm going to break this down slowly, so bear with me. One-way communications, when Google has to share something, email still works. We're going to use emails. Oh, lovely, great. Email appreciates the vote of confidence. I love it. We're going to stick with emails and newsletters when it's one way where Google has to tell something to everyone as soon as we're talking about campaigns, as soon as we're talking about what we're doing next, changes to the program. We're trying to not have any more changes, but yes, anything that we have to talk about, emails and newsletters. Simple. Two-way communication. So one, we're going to continue having our monthly Hangouts. Our monthly Hangouts, please join those monthly Hangouts because that's a great forum that just burning questions at that given time, we have the right people right there to answer. If they don't answer it, they are going to follow up right away. So we're going to continue that. So when asked right off the bat, is like having it at the end of the day. We can play with the timing. Keep in mind, North America is big. There's multiple. Right. And so yes, at some point, no one's going to attend these meetings, and they're just going to look for the summary, which is going to be us Googlers talking to each other. Right? If no one shows up. Now, cross-program discussion. So, if anyone's wondering why I made sure I went on after Janine and after she left, this is why. Okay? Everyone's booing me. Who is this guy? All right? So, I get it. I am interested right now because, again, we were looking at Slack, Google Chat, Discord, everything, and all those options were out there. If you did vote and you showed interest in Discord, put your hand up. Okay, now wait, this is fine. There are people, yeah. Now wait, if you did not vote or if you did not fill out a survey, put your hand up. Okay, how many of all of you were booing me right now? Yeah, right. So, sir, if you did not vote or did you not respond and then you were booing me right now, internal reflection right now. That's all I ask. All right, internal reflection. We're going to continue iterating on this, but what we are going to do is we do need to simplify it. The reality is what we're going to have is we're going to have an NA channel, so you're not going to be with everyone else. It's going to be access restricted, where folks part of the NA community are going to join Discord, and the idea is that if you're a GDE, GDSC, what did I miss? GDG, GDE, GDSC, all three of them, you'll be part of this group. We're also going to create sub-regional channels, which will also be access restricted. So if you just want to talk to folks in Eastern Canada, then you'll have that group for you. So we'll continue building off of this, but this is the plan. What this means is we are going to kill off some of the other channels. Doesn't stop anyone from creating their own and having their own thing, but if you want the official channels where Google will be present, where we are going to be moderating, where we are going to be following up and official, the channels we just discussed, that's the way we're going to go.
I already have 1 million messages in Discord to read. I didn't finish.
Got it. GDO server, North America channel. Okay, now we are going to have another thing. I'm going to move on. There is an AMA. I'll take it all. I'll take it. It's fine. One more thing. Project or event specific. So you're doing an event. You're hosting an event, and everyone knows the challenges of 10-to-1 Googlers and all that fun stuff. But when we have an event, we'll create a Google chat group specific for a project, specific for an event, so we can quickly get things done, and it's a very less noisy space. All right. I'm going to keep going. I didn't expect so much feedback on that one. So, quickly on our campaigns. This is what was the plan, and you can see here. I'm going to call out something. Build with AI, wrapping up in May, kicking off Google I/O Extended. Then we have our DevFest, and you can see I'm not supposed to say dates. You kind of see where we're looking with DevFest, right? If it changes or so, but if you're planning a DevFest, you kind of know the window you're looking at. Here's the reality, though. I said this at the very beginning of the year with my team, that I'm really excited about 2024 because we were talking about Build with AI. And I was like, I have this inkling that everyone's going to really love this. They're going to eat it up. They're going to go out. And you did. We got tremendous feedback on Build with AI. We got tremendous traction with this campaign. So why end the campaign early? Our plan is to continue Build with AI till the end of the year. I got one. Love it. So we are going to continue Build with AI. In fact, there's a few things here. I/O Extended. And I got one cheer now, maybe not the next. I/O Extended, we're actually mandating to have Build with AI incorporated into I/O Extended. And that's fine. It's like, and if you have something already set up, that's one thing, but like we're really pushing, like, hey, have I/O Extended have Build with AI part of your I/O Extended. This is because we're getting so much traction. People have been asking to create a series with Build with AI. And what we don't want is like, okay, well, I'm doing a series, and then all of a sudden I have I/O Extended. It breaks the flow, and then we have something else, and it breaks the flow. We want to continue the series of Build with AI. The reality is all the workshops, the hackathons, the hands-on training has been exactly what communities, and I'm talking about the developers in your specific cities, have been asking for and want more of. We're getting that feedback. So we don't want to take away the steam that's there with Build with AI. But with I/O Extended, we are going to say, hey, have Build with AI incorporated. And one more thing. We have an issue when it comes to securing Google venues. If you have used a Google venue and you've had challenges, put your hand up. Got it. We heard you. Yeah, 2 hands, stand up. I get it. Completely get it. And I'm not going to lie, it's a mission and a half. It is really hard when it comes to all the security details, what you can do, what you can't do. How realistic is it to have your entire attendee list like a week before your event? Usually people are RSVPing and signing up like the day of. And so I get it, lots of challenges. We're going to try to solve that. We're setting up meetings, we're setting up calls, we're really working on that. The the plan is that we need some time without using the Google venues at all, so we can kind of really reset the cycle of it. So I/O Extended, we're not gonna have Google venues available for I/O Extended. I know that's gonna be a challenge for many people. I just pick your poison, because I know how challenging it is to set up that location. But the idea is during I/O Extended period, during this period from May and actually including summer, during that time frame, we're gonna try to solve this problem so that we can have Google venues in a much simpler place for DevFest. So that way, everyone who needs Google venues for DevFest, we're ready to go. But this is why I'm asking for time. So I've asked that right now for I/O Extended, we don't use it. So that way we can reset things on our side. I see some hands already going up. Save it for the AMA. I'm right there. I'm almost there. Okay, sponsorship and reimbursements. Okay, most folks know this, right? How we fund, what we sponsor, the official campaigns, filling out the reimbursement form. I'm not going to go into all those details. But what I will say is this. We all recognize the budget constraints that are there. There are choices we all need to make in regards to, hey, do we put money towards campaigns so you all continue doing events? Do we put money into events like this, where we fly folks in, we cover hotel, we rent out the AV and production quality so that it's a great event for you? Do we have alcohol available at every single event we do? What type of food we have? And those choices are being made deliberately. See, I didn't say intentional. I said deliberately this time. Start the counter. But here's what hurts. Here's what has gotten us to a point where we got to figure this out. We secure flights, we secure hotels, we get everyone booked up, we use whether it's travel perks or the reimbursement process, and then people don't show up. And that's lost money. That's money that we can use towards the campaigns. And so when we looked at how many people did not show up, that stung. And so one of the things that we're looking to do is, and this is controversial, and I get it, but we are saying, hey, there's a commitment when you get paid hotel, paid flights and all that, there's a commitment. And if you don't show up, and if we're not able to use the agencies to recoup that funds, we're kind of coming back to the people who had to cancel. Now, I get there are legitimate reasons why people can't come. But an excuse like, you know what, work just got really busy, I can't do it anymore, this was something you committed a while ago, and hoping that you could have communicated this to your work then and commit to this. If you're canceling because of something like that, we're gonna kind of come back and say, hey, if you booked it through an agency, we're gonna ask the agency, hey, go back to them to recoup that. Or in future reimbursement requests, we're like, actually, we can't give you this reimbursement because you actually used up this much funding. I know it's controversial. It also sounds a little, I was gonna say cheap, not cheap, but it does sound, hey, spiteful almost. I get it, but it's kind of the reality we're living in, and I do feel that sticking to a commitment is probably a core value that a lot of you have, right? Okay, I lost track of time now, but I'm going to quickly go through it. Something that we spoke about a while ago, and some of you have been engaged here, is public policy. So we have a public policy team at Google. They are very, very interested in understanding what developers care about. What is it that matters to them? But more importantly, when there are changes, when governments, policymakers are proposing new changes, they want to be able to tell all of you as developers, how does that impact you? If they make this change, what does that mean to your business? And so if we want to continue doing that, I've been asking, hey, who wants someone from public policy to come to their event? I get it, policy is not sexy. I know, I understand. It's not, people don't care, I don't need that content at my event. I get it. I understand. And sometimes no, please, please, please. And I forced it in and I realized the audience was yawning as well. I get it. I understand. But it is important. And it's more so important, even if we don't have a talk, even if we don't bring them in, it's important to understand what is happening and how to be in the know. So even if you don't have someone speaking to it, but when you're sharing with your communities, you're sharing with your developers, this QR code, to be in the know. please take a picture of this. We will share this as well. Figure out what the QR code goes. It's all about being in the know, being aware of what's happening. Because the last thing we want is changes being proposed that seriously impact your business and you have no idea. And even if it doesn't, if it's not about your business, think about your community. Think about the people that come to your events and them realizing, wait, what is this? There is an opportunity here to make a change.